Okay guys, let's go on with this shit here. As you see, this wall here is in a pretty good condition, so we need to fix this. My plan was to make a big entrance here, like widen this up to about 2 meters. On top here is actually one big 2.5 meters long concrete beam, but I can't use this. It's completely falling apart. I don't know what they used as concrete here. So I will put a long steel beam underneath it to support the whole situation here. Actually, these are two different concrete beams on top here. One inside and one outside. The outside one is pretty much in a good condition, but the inner one is completely scrap. Okay, the first steel beam is in. Let's fix this up with a little bit mortar and then go on the other side. Here I'm drilling long big holes through the concrete beams to anchor them together with big threaded rods, because I basically let this beam fly later and the only support is this small jack pipe support thing on the right side here. As you see here, the old concrete beam was only held by this small piece of steel. I don't know what to say. Here I'm cutting in the concrete beams at the full length, so I can install the steel beam at the same height as the other one, so I don't lose headroom. By the way, these steel beams weigh about 50 kilograms. Okay, both steel beams are installed. As you see, this corner here is also completely scrap. So let's fix this with a little bit concrete.
Das ist die ganz alte Fensterbank von vor 90 Jahren.
So what I'm trying to say here in German is that this wall here was actually an outer wall 90 years ago. So they had a big window here in the woodworking shop. And what you're seeing here is actually a windowsill made out of concrete. So I'm trying to explain the history of this door opening / window opening here. When they built the woodworking shop 90 years ago, they had here one big window which was 2 meters wide and 1.5 meters tall. And later, when they convert the woodworking shop into a pigsty, they filled the rest up and make a new door opening here. So like in this picture. Yeah, but as I said, the concrete beam here on top is completely scrap, and this brickwork here on the bottom is always completely broken, so why not do a big opening here?
Richtig schön großer Durchgang hier.
Here I plaster the wall opening to close the joints and holes and to connect the loose stones. It's also good to plaster the steel beams here to protect them from rust. I'm very glad that they did this also in the pigsty, because all beams are still in very good condition and not rusted away. I can do a lot of things, but yeah, brickwork is not my best qualification, as you see. But yeah, better try than give up. Okay guys, new construction site here. I'm on the concrete ceiling of the pigsty, and I need to remove this old beam here and replace this with this new one here, which I'm holding. Yeah, I can't explain the situation here. It's too complicated. So let's quickly rush through this. Removing this post and beam up there has many pros. Firstly, I can walk through this without putting my head down. Second is the roof is much better supported. The last but not least is I can remove this wall here. So I have a big, like 3.2 meters wide entrance into the new woodworking shop. So I can drive in here. Since this part of the concrete ceiling is crap anyway, I can simply remove the wall and install a new steel beam and pour a small new concrete floor on top there. You will see then. What I will discover now here is the craziest thing I've ever found on our home. Maybe you can guess what it is, but yeah, this is completely crazy. A small hint from me. This thing should be produced between 1939 and 1945. Actually, it's two of them in the left concrete beam up there. No, the archaeology work starts.
Nachher ist es ein Staubsauger. Lass mal hin.
Nee, das ist mein Eigentum hier. Ich hab's gefunden.
Aber dann hinterher nehme ich ihn weg.
Okay guys, at this point I will tell you what we discovered. These things are actually two different machine guns from the World War II. Actually from airplane. Specifically from a Messerschmitt Bf 109. But don't worry, the most of the parts are missing and the actual length of them is over 2 meters, so the half of the length is missing. And yeah, but quite very interesting. After the war, my great-grandfather or my great-uncle packed these machine guns into the concrete. They were supposed to serve as a reinforcement for the lintel above the entrance to the pigsty. Maybe they had no steel left, like me always. By the way, These two guys were not in the war. They were both carpenters and built our house, the workshop and this barn here. A villager in our village told us a story. During the Second World War, a Messerschmitt crashed about a kilometer from here we live. Perhaps these are the engine guns of this plane. We will never know. Hier, jetzt kannst du es rausnehmen. I found a very good YouTube video about the Messerschmitt Bf 109, especially the inside of it. Here's the YouTube channel when you want to watch the whole video. Here's a small clip of the weapons of this plane. Shout out to this guy, very good animation.
The standard armament consisted of one 20mm MG 151 cannon, installed between the cylinder blocks and firing through the hollow propeller axle. In addition, there were two 13mm MG 131 machine guns installed over the engine right in front of the cockpit. The machine guns created noticeable bumps on the cowling that are a feature of the model. Each 13mm machine gun held 300 rounds of ammunition, and the cannon magazine contained 200 rounds. The muzzle velocity of the 13mm machine guns was around 700 to 750 meters per second, and the rate of fire was around 900 rounds per minute, or 20 seconds of continuous fire. For the 20mm cannon, the muzzle velocity was 700 meters per second, and the rate of fire around 700 rounds per minute, or about 17 seconds if the pilot continuously fired. The pilot would generally engage enemies at a maximum distance of 760 yards. But the ground crew could adjust the guns to converge at different distances, depending upon the pilot's preference. The guns were able to be effective at longer ranges. In tests, the MG131 was found to be able to hit on target over 1 mile away. The weapons were charged electrically, and white markers would appear above the ammunition counters to show that the weapons were ready.
Okay, let's go on with this boring stuff here. A few weeks later, the concrete has hardened. But there are still many things to do here.
So let's finish up the scrap here. I want to install a big trapdoor here, so I can pull up heavy things with a winch or something else. These will be the planks for the flap. To make the flap tight and more stable, I'm milling a groove in both sides and then insert a wooden strip. Since these planks are so crooked, I'm not going to plane them, I'm just going to sand them down. Fest.
Okay guys, finally we are done with all the demolition, taking away the rubble and cleaning stones in the pigsty. I promise you in the next videos it will be more interesting. We start with the rebuild of the woodworking shop, start the construction of the billiard room and many other projects like the restoration of my bobcat.